Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today, as usual. I therefore hope that everyone is enjoying their day today. We're going to talk about XRP no matter where you are in the world. This is the one-day chart once more. The current price is $2.11. Today we are literally down 2.91%. And because of the judge's ruling, I see a lot of individuals acting as though the sky is falling. In this video, I'll go into further detail regarding that. However, if you look at the 7 days, everything appeared to be going quite well. It appeared as though we would soon begin to ascend. Then this occurred. However, we continue to follow Bitcoin, as seen by its holding over 107K. On the other hand, Bitcoin has been steadily rising. Hopefully that will continue. The rest of the market will begin to follow suit. And all I'm waiting for is the emergence of Bitcoin. That will provide us with a timeline for the alternate season and reinforce it. Thus, this is what took place. A joint motion for an indicative ruling from Ripple and the SEC was turned down by Judge Analisa Torres. What does this signify? She is therefore unwilling to indicate that she is changing or reevaluating anything at this time. The appeals procedure is still ongoing in this case. At this time, the judge is not reopening or reevaluating any portion of the decision. It might impede any potential settlement or alter SEC ripples together we are attempting to make. However, Johnny Deaton claimed that this is the reason why it occurred. He claimed that the SEC and Ripple were unpersuasive. Listen, in the judge's presence, Torres threw a ball of curtains. First of all, the rule you quoted was incorrect. Secondly, the court has not seen your demonstration. That I, Judge Torres, who issued and complied with the legislation, have special circumstances. A supplement. For me to simply declare, I'm going to dissolve the injunction because I changed my mind. You must exert yourself. You must show me some things, don't you? This is a high bar that you must meet. Actually, it's the high bar for extraordinary situations. Come back to me, she said. So I was thinking, shit, she is furious. For starters, consider how much time, money, and energy she invested on this case over the course of 4.5 years. The amount of work put into this case. The SEC then declares, Judge, we changed our minds, CJ. We want you to take your $125 million fine and cut it by 60%. We wanted the amount to be $1.3 billion. She desires a bit more. I thus assumed that the SEC and Ripple would draft a brief that would go a bit further than what they actually did. He's claiming that they weren't compelling enough. And Stuart Alderoty stated this. The ball is back in our court now. The court presented us with two choices: deny our appeal contesting the historic institutional sales conclusion, and proceed with the appeal. In any case, keep an eye out. The legal status of XRP is that it is not a security, stays the same, and conducts business as usual in the interim. And I'm delighted he brought that up because I've noticed that a lot of people are now claiming that XRP is a security once more. The fact that XRP is not a security now and will not be at any time in the future will not change that. However, Ripple now controls it and everything hinges on what it does next. The lawsuit can be concluded at that point. Recall that on May 2nd, I think, the SEC abandoned its appeal against Ripple and has since dropped all of its cases against U.S. cryptocurrency companies. The SEC simply wants to eliminate this as well. Not that nobody is actually fighting here. The judge just stated, hey, listen, you didn't convince me on anything about that, and you could all figure it out on your own today. She essentially stated that she would not be altering her decision in any way. However, individuals immediately began selling off their XRP because they believed the sky was falling, and Ed Ofarina made this announcement at the most crucial moment. In other words, this essay was published at the ideal moment. World War III, alien, invasion, atomic bomb, financial collapse, AI takeover, zombie apocalypse, or anything else will not deter me from selling XRP, he claims. Market manipulators and the Black Rocks can already quit. They aren't receiving 0.1 XRP less than $100. And that's how everyone ought to be considering their XRP bag at the moment. We've been dealing with this case for years, you know. Most of us persevered through it all. I mean, back in December of 2020, when this lawsuit first began, individuals were selling their XRP. Knowing what XRP would do in the real world, I purchased more. Perhaps they are simply holding it out till the opportune moment. However, this was also highly significant news. The president declared the signing of the trade agreement with China. Thus, this ought to stimulate the market once more. Listen to it, negotiating with foreign nations. The press was asking, do you really have anybody of any interest? A few months ago, we signed with China yesterday, isn't that correct? Recently, secured a deal with China, possess. We won't be making deals with everyone. Some were simply going to write them a note to express their gratitude. You will pay 25, 35, and 45%. That's the simplest method. And that's not how my people want to do it. They want to make more deals than I would, but they want to do some of it. However, we have some fantastic bargains. We have a major one coming up, possibly with India. We will, and it's extremely positive for cryptocurrency since it indicates that we won't during a surge. We will not be confronted with the news that the United States and China are still at odds over tariffs. Hopefully, he closes all of these agreements as quickly as possible. In this manner, we can proceed. Everyone is watching Q1, which is 26, and Q4, which is 25. For XRP, it will be enormous. Enjoy the process and exercise patience. We're really close. I believe that everything that will occur will start in the fall, as I have been predicting. Before then, there will be upward movement.